For a long time, I was indifferent to K-pop, but that all changed when I first heard about BTS. Get comfy, I'll tell you my unusual adventures and how I accidentally didn't get to see this great band. My name is Emily, and I go to school. The kind of regular school that all kids my age go to. The kind of school that has a classroom, a cafeteria, and mean teachers. Fancy girls and bully boys. For me, everything was ordinary, and every day was the same as the previous day. That all changed with the arrival of a new history teacher, Mrs. Thompson. She was so encouraging, incredibly intelligent, and treated us nicely. We looked forward to her lessons. Mrs. Thompson presented the information in such an interesting way that even after the bell rang, we did not flinch from our seats, but sat and continued to listen to the subject. The approach to teaching was very different from the other teachers. It was obvious that our historian adored her work and took it seriously. One day, we were being told about Korea and its culture. Mrs. Thompson asked us what we knew about the country, to which the whole class started shouting about K-dramas, delicious food, quality cosmetics, and the K-pop. Our teacher supported us by saying she was crazy about Korean music, and she had a flash drive with those songs in her car. My confused face gave me away. I really didn't understand what the class was talking about and what K-pop was. It's now that I look back and think, how could I not know Korean artists? At the time, it all seemed very normal to me. Mrs. Thompson suddenly turned on the song on her phone and started dancing. Her hair was flipping side to side like a Head & Shoulders advertisement, and her teeth were shiny, like they had been whitened. All my classmates looked surprised, and once rearranged the desks too, began to dance and have fun laughing, and only I stood modestly aside. The teacher came up to me and asked why I was standing. Do I not like the song? And I quietly replied that I like the music, but I do not understand the words. Emily, it's BTS. I don't always understand the meaning of the words either, but that doesn't make their music any less appealing. Millions of people adore their style. Also, they're really cute, she said with a wink. I admit, it's a lesson I'll remember for a long time. The dancing classmates led by the young teacher, the fun and laughter, what a perfect history class. When I got home, I realized that the song just wouldn't get out of my head. It went on and on, over and over again. Well, let's see what you look like, almighty K-pop. Just to let you know that I'm not a super nerd, let me tell you that my musical preferences are different from my peers. I like to listen to classical. Yes, I do. That's right. My dad works in a conservatory for a long time, and we have been listening to classical music in our house since I was a little girl. But I won't go into detail. So I sat in front of the screen and watched the K-pop idols. I've lost count a few times on how many members there really are in the band. Green and pink hair. It's fun though. It's bright and fun. Listened to a couple of songs and even wrote down the lyric like in Korean. I wrote them down as I heard them. Eventually, the language was enriched with new phrases such as 사랑해, 보고 싶어, and 돌아와. By the way, do you listen to foreign songs and write out the lyrics on a sheet of paper, where you get a set of letters and you sing along? Share in the comments what's the funniest word you've written. After that history lesson, my classmates made fun of me like I don't listen to normal, popular music and instead fall for music made by dudes in wigs and tights, and that I was an old dinosaur. I didn't want to be a punchline and said that I actually am a BTS fan and will be flying to Korea for their concert soon. You should have seen their faces. Some were shocked, some giggled, and others rolled their eyes. Come on, I call BS, said Bully Timmy. Of course she is, she's a dinosaur. Rose was all over me. I made a brick face and whispered, "You'll see. And then don't ask for exclusive concert photos." So my task was to go to BTS concert by hook or by crook. But how can I do it when I haven't got the cash to spend on tickets, let alone flights? I don't know a lot of Korean, and I'm just a normal high school student. But remembering the faces of my classmates, I decided to try my luck by all means. The main thing was faith, and the rest will take care of itself. When I got home, I started surfing the internet. How much is a concert ticket? No. How to get in for free at a BTS concert. And in response, some interesting links appeared. So, in view of the pandemic, the guys are giving a free online concert. Oh no, it's from last year. Well, that's not it. Wrong. Aha! BTS are holding a private online concert and all the money raised will go to charity. Perfect! To take part, just write a letter to the band's official email and pay the amount you can for a good cause. That's all there is to it. That's all. There's no problem with the payment. I hoped for my mom and her card. But there's a problem with the letter. What do I know about BTS? They're from Korea. Korea is a country. It's on our planet. Damn, that sounds like a fan letter, man. You know, honesty is key. I'll be honest, I don't know you, but I want a free $1 ticket. What? That's fine, just be a little more diplomatic. Hello, esteemed BTS group. My name is Emily, and I really want to go to your concert. I love songs like, I love all your songs and videos. It's just the epitome of art. You are all cool and very sweet. Gamsa, ramen is the best. Seems okay. I clicked send and waited for a reply. Of course, they have thousands of emails a minute, and mine will probably be answered in a while. Wow, they've already replied? That's fast. How cool. That's the level of answering every fan in their language. Well done, Koreans. Dear Emily, we are delighted to receive such a kind letter from you, blah, blah, blah. At the bottom, you can see the details to transfer to our charity, blah, blah, blah. Oh, great. Where's Mom's card? Right, she did her shopping yesterday, so the card's in the toilet on a shelf somewhere, as usual. When I found the card, I typed the details and I wrote down $1. Well, thinking for a schoolgirl who doesn't work, $1 is a pretty good amount. I'm donating $1 to a good cause. It's so easy to be a philanthropist. The payment went through, and I waited for the link to the concert. 10 minutes. 20. An hour passed. Goosebumps moved all over my body. My heart started beating like crazy, and bad thoughts started creeping in until my mother called me on the phone. As I picked up the phone, I heard first screams, then tears. Something fell to the ground. Then I heard my mother's voice again. Apparently, it was fainting. I won't go into what my mom said to me, but from what was said, it meant that I was born in the mountain and brought a herd of reindeer to my parents' door, and many more words of a bit of foul language, but I'd rather not repeat. From my mother's hysteria, one thing became clear. Instead of $1, they wrote off her entire salary, benefits, and in general, I actually turned out to be a real philanthropist, donating a sum of 4 zeros. Now that was a hell of a concert. That was a disaster. I started to send an email with trembling hands, but I got a message that the email address didn't exist. It didn't exist. As you can imagine, I was cheated. Swindlers made the site, and knowing how popular BTS are, they made a very ingenious scheme to withdraw money from their accounts. I didn't know what to do. I am too young to die, and my mom will be here in a few hours. Damn it. My foolish desire to conform to the interest of my classmate had turned me into a real tragedy. What do I do? Mom came. She wasn't much of a talker, so she didn't swear. She just sat on the couch and stared at the one point at the wall. I thought maybe she was coming up with a revenge plan and crossed myself and prayed, just in case. But Mom sat silent without moving. At one point, I thought she wasn't breathing, so I bent down to have a look. I got a slap on the head that made the stars tap dance in front of my eyes. I moved a safe distance away, just in case, and apologized and said I wouldn't do it again. And you couldn't do it again. You have transferred so much that I have 0 there. I contacted the bank, and it was only after they promised to return at least half of the amount that I became calmer. After this incident, I do not go to questionable sites, do not transfer money to anyone, and do not fall for all sorts of ads like sign up and get a flat as a gift or $1 million for the likes of. I listen to BTS and Blackpink, but I do not want to go see them now. Too many bad memories. If you like the video, like and comment.